I really didn't like this book.
Where do I even begin?
Oh my God, baby, I just finished this book, bitch, and I be over here smiling from ear to ear.
When I tell y'all I don't cry over books, man, the homies finna tear me up about crying about this.
Friends, today we are talking about the books that everybody should read at least once in their lifetime.
Are book reviews becoming performative? And if so, when did reading become a competition? And are we all willing and somewhat unwilling participants? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hi, welcome back. My name is Anna, and if you enjoy book reviews, reading vlogs, the occasional controversial bookish hot take, don't forget to subscribe since it's $3.99. So, quick disclaimer, and just a way for me to set the tone. This is not a you're not allowed to leave book reviews or give book reviews kind of video, because who am I to dictate what you do online? This is not a dictatorship. I'm just a goofy bookworm on the internet. Now, is book reviews becoming, or more like, are book reviews becoming performative? And if so, what is the harm, and is it killing honest opinions kind of video? Now, I do have some notes because my brain is not as good as it used to be. Now, this could be a load of crack from my ass. It could make completely no sense. This is why it's called my take, and hopefully someone agrees. And if you disagree, please just leave your feedback in the comments. We can have peaceful conversation. I'm just trying to set the tone of this video. Like I said, I could be talking from the crack of my ass. Who knows? This is just my take on something I've noticed in regards to book reviews recently. If you think I'm being biased, you can go check out my Goodreads and read reviews that I've left myself, and then we can see. I may also be part of the problem. Who really knows? So, what do I mean by performative? Well, when I say performative, I'm talking about those reviews that speak less about the book and say more about getting attention, fitting a particular trend, trying to create some level of public outrage. Those reviews that say something like, this was the worst book ever. And I'm sure you have seen a few of those reviews. If you are a part of the book community, we've all seen those. Oh, this book is the shittiest book, or I'm never reading this book again, or some crap along that line. We've all seen those. So that's what I mean when I say book reviews are being performative. And I'm sure we've all had that one book where we say, oh my God, that book was trash, right? You've had those. I've had those. We've all had those. So this is not me saying that there's anything wrong with you calling a book trash. Because if a book is trash, you just need to call a spade, and that's that. So why does it feel that reviews have changed? Now, I remember a time when reviews used to be personal. You would talk about how the book correlates with you. Your reviews should be casual. They were more like I didn't like it, I like it type of review. Focus more on the character, the storyline, the moral, the theme, the plot. But somewhere along the line, reviews have been reduced to vibe check, relatability check, how well readers like the author, or how well readers like the genre, or how well readers like the tropes. And I just believe that when it comes on to reviews, I blame these parasocial relationships. If you've been here long enough, you know how I feel about these parasocial relationships. I'm going to give you an example. This is Shutter Island. I've never read any book by Dennis Leahy. Say I was to say, oh, I didn't vibe with this book, but that would be a lie. This is an example. I just finished reading this book. It is a 5 star. But say I was to say, this book is a 5 star. I love Dennis. Would that be enough to convince you to read this book? Let me know if the answer is yes or no. I personally, I've never gone on Goodreads or Amazon or anywhere where book reviews are and say, oh, I'm gonna read that book because XYZ liked the author. If that was the case, I would have never read any Emily Henry books. I don't hate Emily Henry, I just don't like her books. You see what I'm saying? I don't vibe with her books. You see what I did there? I tap into being performative. I don't vibe with Emily Henry's books. So see what I did there? Like, it's more like, I don't know. I just don't like the way that reviews are being done now. It's like it's like we're all in this big film and we're all just waiting for it's our time to say our lines and we're just opening the curtain and we're just action go. And then when the curtain closes, it's a whole different story. So if you're this far in the video and for some reason you still have no idea how you can tell when a book review is performative, don't worry. I have a few examples. I have them written down on my computer. I don't like to talk about this, but I was recently in a car crash. My brain is not what it used to be. And if I'm looking away, it's just because I don't want to turn what could be a 10-minute video into a 50-minute video because no one wants to sit down and edit all of that crap. So, yeah, bear with me. Sometimes I barely remember my own name, but yet here I am trying to make this video because I just think that the world wants my opinion. So number one, as to how you can tell that a book review is performative. The review is more based on the author than the book. Like, say I was to read a Emily Henry book and I was supposed to say, I didn't like this book because I noticed that Emily Henry I don't know anything about Emily Henry, or I could say, well, I like this book because I don't like Emily Henry, and the way that Emily Henry, I see her online posting stuff. I don't make book reviews based on authors, so I could be given the worst example. But it's just any review that you see focus more on, per se, the artist than the art. I do know that there's sometimes you can't really separate the art from the artist, but like I like to say and have been saying, unless the artists have imprinted themselves on the art or in the art, please separate the two. Thank you. Once again, people judging the book based on what they know about the author. It's like it's a little bit touchy, but there's a lot of Zionists out there. And as a result of that, people don't if they do read a book by a Zionist, they'll leave a review stating that the author is a Zionist. And all I have to say is that if you're opposed to Zionists, I don't think. Listen, this is a little bit touchy, and I might be cancelled. But in order for me to be cancelled, enough of you are gonna have to watch this video. It's just 159 of you, and I doubt all 159 of you are gonna sit down and watch this video. So let me just get my hot take out there. Unless if you have a problem with Zionists, why are you reading the books? I've seen people they'll read like books from Zionist authors, and I had no idea what Zionists were until I saw enough review and I took it upon myself to Google it. So if you have no idea what a Zionist is, you can go Google it too. You're most welcome. Now they'll say, oh, I didn't like the book because the author's a Zionist. And I'm like, did you know that there were Zionists going in and still read the book? So why are you complaining? It's like I don't want to call any names per se as to who these Zionists are, but if I know that morally I don't like Colleen Hoover liked to romanticize domestic violence, and so I don't buy any Colleen Hoover book. Like the only book I've ever bought from her, I bought before knowing that she likes to romanticize domestic violence. And so since then, I haven't bought any books from her. I also haven't read any more books from her. And the one book that I have by her, I do want to give it a chance to see if I like it before, per se, donating or giving it away to someone who is okay with her, her books. And so I could leave a book review saying, "Hey, I did love one of my favorite quotes was from Regretting You. It wasn't Regretting You. Reminders of You. I love that. I read that book in 2023. I loved it. That was when I was just discovering Colleen Hoover before I knew anything about her per se. But I could have left any books I read going forward. I could say, hey, Colleen Hoover likes to romanticize domestic violence, and so that could be the review. It's like that would be an example of performative um, review. Also, another example is when the reviews are full with buzzwords like problematic, harmful, toxic, with no explanation as to exactly what happened in the book. Like when you go online and you hear that Colleen Hoover is a problematic author and she writes problematic books, and no one really tells you that a bunch of her book romanticizes domestic violence. So if you're just coming into the reading space and you go on Book Talk or you go on Goodreads and you see, hey, I didn't enjoy this book because it was problematic. I think that's performative because as someone who's reading the reviews, no one really knows what problematic is. It's just like I say, I could probably be not I could not be explaining this right. I know what I want to say in my brain, but I don't think they're coming out the way they should. And if you are getting what I'm saying, just reassure me in the comments that you understand what I'm saying, and so I don't think I'm just throwing grass at the wall. Is that what it's called? Grass at the wall? Another Another big one that I really dislike is those people who say, "Oh, the review will be I hate it," but they've had multiple 5 stars by the same author, and these are the same people that will go on and say, "Oh, I love so and so's writing." Okay, I read one of my favorite book of 2024 was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and since after reading Divine Rivals, I read Rootless Vows, which was Divine Rivals was a 5 star. Oh my god, my vision just went blurry for a second. Divine Rivals was a 5 star. Um, Rootless Vows was a 4.5, and I read another book by her. I'm gonna put it up on the screen, and I think that was a 2 star, 3 star. I did not hate that book. I didn't really like the plot line, but per se, like Rebecca Ross, I love her writing. It's just like those reviews where you'll say I hate the book, and you'll say, oh, I love this author's writing, and they'll have multiple 5 star from the author, and they won't say exactly what they hated about the book. Because if you said you love the writing and you've had multiple 5 star by this author, what exactly didn't you like about that one book? You know? I just believe that at some point, some of these reviews become more content forming and more about more about vibing these parasocial relationships that these readers have with authors. I don't have parasocial relationships with people. I have really bad social anxiety, and half the time I barely want to leave my house. I don't even like when getting hugs from my family, much less to get myself attached to authors on the internet. Like I've had a few authors that I follow because I'm currently writing. Had I not been a writer or want to publish my own books, I would not be following any authors. I don't I just need to know that you write the books and they, as a reader, I just want to know that you write the books, they come out, and that's it. I don't need to see what kind of coffee you drink. I don't need to see how many dogs you have, how many cats you have. I don't need to see anything about your person. I don't need to know where you go on vacation. I don't want to know anything about you personally, unless it's for your, writing tips and tricks. Like, what's her name? I follow Victoria Avier. Love her, love her. No part social relationship, but I love her. She's, if you follow her and if you know Victoria Avier, you know what I'm talking about. Chef Kiss. She's talking about a lot of stuff and she gives really good writing tips, and she shares. I think she's currently working on a book called Tempest. I know that not because I'm a reader, but because I'm a writer. That's the reason why I follow her. She gives very good writing tips. All right, so let's talk about how pressuring it is to have the correct opinion online and how social media basically enforces or encourages, conformity. Now, one, people are afraid to love books that everyone hates, and then people are afraid to hate books that everyone loves. And I've seen cases where people have gone online and they've said that they hate Fort Wing and Rebecca Ross's posse, because that's what I'm gonna call them. These people that have parasocial relationship with these authors will basically attack them, and then they'll say yada 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 yada. I don't follow that shit. Or people that love Fort Wing, and the people that hate will say, "Oh, you have bad taste in books." I love Fort Wing. They were both Fort Wing and the second book, which is Iron Flame. I give them both 5 stars. I was going through a time in my life where I just needed to read something about dragons. And I will be honest, if you remove the dragons from the books, they would be 2 stars for me. That's what I think. I'd have to go reread them. I haven't read them since 2024. I do want to reread them because I do want to read the third book, which I think is on Onyx Storm or something along that line. But I know someone might be, oh, you have bad taste in book because you enjoy Fort Ring. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's this constant thing where we need to conform. Everyone needs to like the same book, or everyone needs to hate the same book. And it's an opinion. That's not how things are. Just like I there's a whole set of people out there who praise Emily Henry's books. I don't like them. Unless her she knows how to write really good friendship. I think the things that I've liked about her books is always the way how she writes friendship. She's really good at that, but romance, I don't like the way she writes romance. I don't like it. If she writes a book about friends, sure. Like, I love Happy Place a 5 star, and the reason I gave Happy Place a 5 star was because I love the underlying theme of friendship. Only reason. I didn't care shit about who was together, who was getting married, who was breaking up. I didn't care. I read People We Meet on Vacation. I didn't like that book. That book was a 2 star. I love the friendship aspect, but the minute I realized that they were getting together, I was like, no, no, no. We've also entered this era where reviews have become the safe option instead of honest opinions. People are so afraid to get canceled that instead of writing how they really feel about books, they'd rather lie. Because when I was a kid growing up, I was taught that the opposite of being honest is lying. And so we have a bunch of like you'll ask someone, "Oh, did you like that book?" And they'll be, "Well, it's a 5 star, but," and they make all these weird faces, and they're like, you know, and I'm like, okay, it's a 5 star, but because there's a but, and they're just, it's a And then they make all these faces and they tell you, it's popular. Book Talk recommended to me, and everyone liked it so. And they do all these faces, and then I'm like, you know, I personally call it the mind hive mentality where book becomes popular, everyone praises it, then everyone likes it, and then we go into the mind hive cycle all over again. It's like every month Book Talk picks a book. Oh, we're gonna like this book. It was like when Fortune just came out, like we saw the wave of everyone liking the book and praising it, and then we got the wave of people hating on the book, saying the writing was bad, this was bad, that was bad. And then we saw the wave again where it got popular again, especially when Iron Flame was coming out. And it's a constant cycling. You're either going to be a part of the Mind Hive or the Beehive or whatever hive it's called, or I guess they're going to shit on you or me because, I don't do that group shit. And that's why half the books on my shelf, I can count the amount of books I've bought because of Book Talk. I'm a firm supporter of local libraries and the dollar store. Almost half I own 130 books or 133. Less than 30 I've bought because of Book Talk. Don't forget that there's this constant thing where if you don't agree with the current popular waves of book, oh, let me tell you one book I didn't like and it was really popular. I remember there's all these praises for I'm gonna insert a picture. It's King of Rap by Hannah Hang. I read her Twisted Love series or Twisted series, Love Twisted Love. I think I gave that a 5 star back in 2024, 2023. I didn't like I did not like King of Rap. I didn't I got to page 112 and I was like it was so overhyped. I was hoping that by the time I got to page 112 something would be happening, but nothing was happening and I was like, ugh. I get 24 hours in my day. Back in that was last year. I get 24 hours in my day. And was it 2025 I tried reading that book? Either it was 2025 or 2024. I get 24 hours in my day. And I was like to myself, do I want to take time out of my 24 hours to read this book? And I was like, no. Haven't looked at it since, but it's right there on my shelf. I can see it. I can see it in this video. I'm just saying that we're at a stage where people aren't reviewing books, they're reviewing the internet's opinion of books. It's like if enough people say they like this book, then the next wave of people are going to say, oh, Billy likes this book, so I'm going to like it too. Or when people go online, they say, oh, this booktuber follower, book talker says they like this book, so I know when Billy says she likes this book or Bobby says he likes that book, I'm going to like it too. And then they read the book and they're like, you know, Billy has never steered me wrong. And so I like this book. And we're like, okay, you know that you and Billy or Bobby or whomever recommended this book to you is two different people, right? It's okay for your friend to like a book and you don't like it. And you can both have a discussion about what you liked or didn't like. But I'm sick of going online and people are like, you know, Book Talk recommend this book to me. And I'm going to review the yes, no, or maybe. And I'm like, I could punch you. I could punch you in the face. And for legal purposes, that was a joke. I know it wasn't funny, but don't take it personal, please. So we're going to touch on rage reviews, outrage culture, and how negativity performs well, right? It's like the more angry you get, the more views you get. Like, if I was to start off this video all rage bait, I think I need to get more rage bait if I want these videos to go out to more of you. Because for some reason, this girl, Maddie Clark, you probably know her by now or know the video. She came out with a ragey ass rage bait video. I didn't agree with a bunch of shit she said because I also haven't read half the book she was complaining about. But that stuff, I think the last time I checked, it was at 3 million views. So it's like when you come out with all these rage baity anger videos, like if I was to open a video saying this is one shit ass book, I'm gonna have to start performing if I want more of you to see these videos, you know? It's like people are just doing these reviews, there's these angry ass reviews. I'm sorry. It's 2 something in the morning and I can barely see shit, so my eyes just went really blurry. I'm sorry. I don't know, like I'm gonna have to start off these videos real angry if I want these videos to get to anybody. Like I'm just saying, like the more angry you are when you're doing these book reviews, the more views, the more clicks, the more people it reaches. I mean, the more people get outraged. And if you find the right amount of crowd, if you find the right people, they're not gonna be outraged at all. They're gonna like what you said. All to appease the algorithm gods or goddesses or whomever, you know? Then unpopular opinion gets engagement. Like, like I've done my 25 things on leaving 2025. That video is doing somewhat well. I don't know, 58 views. I don't think that's really good, but it's all semantics at this part. It's like we have these constant unpopular opinion and half of them are very popular, which is the irony of it all. And those videos get engagement. I've watched a few of them, and then we have the controversial hot takes, which those drive views too. Like I did a controversial video. It's at 100 and something views now. This is a small channel. I don't know if 100 and something views is a lot, but it seems to be getting to people. I've yet to have any feedback, so I don't know if it's really hitting the nail on its head. But I think I need to be more aggressive. And let me know if you want to see the aggressive side of me. I'm not really an aggressive person, so if that's a tactic I'm gonna have to use, um, I'll never get any popularity here. 'Cause, I'm a pretty calm person. I can be a little rage baity sometimes because I get really passionate about stuff that piss me off. So, all right, okay. So, um, due to my concussion from my car crash, my vision gets really blurry sometimes, and I literally cannot see my notes. So I do apologize for rushing this video, but I'm gonna have to run through this video if I do want to finish it, and I don't. I work on vibe. I don't think I record videos when I feel I have the energy and the vibe. So if I don't record this today, it's never gonna see the light of day, and I think someone needs to see this video. So here we go. Okay, my notes look like shit. Are some reviews positive in a good way? In every bad, there's some good, and that depends on how you view overhyped books. And my notes are as follows. When I say overhype, I'm talking about those people who call, oh, this book is life changing, this book changed my life, or the classic, oh, this book ruined me, destroyed me. Or you have that one girl, I think her name is Kara. Every time I see her, she's crying. I have nothing against her, but every book she reads makes her cry. And either she's reading a lot of sad books or she's very, very performative. And I would like to say she's performative because all those books can't be that sad. Then there's the typical, this is the best romance ever. And I don't know a lot about romance authors, so I don't even have any names to throw in there. But Like those people who always talk about Emily Henry's books. I don't like her romance books. Nothing to do with the author. Never met her. She's probably a really nice person. She probably has a lot of cats, couple dogs. She's probably saving the earth. She's probably a recycler. Who knows? I just don't like her romance books. Then there's the overuse. Oh, I'll never recover. I'm sick and tired of you reading all these books and telling me all these load of crap shits that you don't really mean. Because in less than a week, you'll be singing the same goddamn song in reference to other books. So, how many books? So, let me ask you this. Is every book destroying you? Is every book the best romance you've ever written? Is every book life changing? Like, how many? In a room full of 1,000 books, how many books do you think are life changing? And how has these books changed your life? Because y'all are trying to drive me crazy with all this load of crap shit. Now, for those of you who are also wondering the same thing that I'm wondering, why would readers fake or perform these reviews? And I have one answer: parasocial relationships. It could be because this is an arc from the publisher, and to any publisher who wants to send me arcs are lovely. I'm not trying to kick a horse in the mark or whatever the saying is. I don't know these sayings. There's nothing wrong with getting books from publishers. That's nice. Or getting arcs from authors. Just that I just believe that there comes a time where you should be able to leave your honest feedback about books without fearing that you won't get any more books from the publishing houses. Or they'll leave these reviews because they want to be in good graces. Whose good graces? At this point, it could be the gods and goddesses of the TikTok algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, the Instagram algorithm. It could be, I don't know whose good graces they're trying to stay in, but it's definitely not mine. I don't know if it's yours. And don't forget those reviewers who wants to fit into the latest trend. What trend, you may ask? I have no idea. I just go on TikTok, I post few stuff, I watch a few videos, and I leave. I hope. Uh, I can't see. I should just end this video because thinking about all this stuff is just trying to drive me crazy and get me pissed off. So, how does this performative review issue affect readers? The consequences are as follows. Follows? As followed. As followed. As followed. Readers like myself, if this was to ever happen to me, end up spending wasted time reading overhyped book, i.e. King of Rats by Anna Hang. Once again, I know nothing about these authors, did not like the book, it was a DNF. I've spent few wasted time on Emily Henry's books, time I could have been spent doing something else. Could be sleeping, trying to learn to bake something new, could be crocheting something. It's time I can never get back, by the way. I could be reading another book. Readers feel like reading is a personality trait. If you read X book, you're this person. If you read that book, you're that person. It's like when they say, oh, I can tell your personality based on what book you read. I read fantasy. What does that say about me? If you know, let me know, because clearly you all know, you all on the internet know something that I don't know about myself. And then smaller creators like myself and the word honest book reviewers, our videos get drowned out because it doesn't fit the current trend, the yes, no, maybe. It doesn't it doesn't conform well to the current popular books. Could be a review about a book that was published behind God, or a book that no one's ever heard about. And so those videos, the algorithm gods or goddesses will eat them. The last consequence is it kills nuanced discussion. Like, books have been reduced or will be reduced to either the book is trash or it's a masterpiece. There's no gray area where a book can be, it could be a good book, but it needs work. One of a not so good book I read, it was 5 star through and through, is the Mind Fox series. And if you've read that book and like it, the the plot line was good. We have a morally gray female, Lana. I think her name is Lana. Love her. Love that book. I think I'm gonna have to reread it. Like, if you're talking about like grammatically being correct, no. The storyline, wonderful, wonderful storyline. There was some ideas went into that book. Now, was it perfectly structured and paced? No. Were some parts rushed and other parts dragged out? Yes. Did I love it? It was a 5 star. It wasn't a masterpiece and it also wasn't trash. What do you call that? If it falls between masterpiece and trash. I don't know. It was a really good book to me. I've always thought that reading should be fun, but apparently online, there's this constant need that you're being graded or you have to perform. I don't know. It's like one big circus and we're all just freaks. And for once, I just want to see people pick up a book, or I want to pick up a book and read it, go on the internet and share it with you. And it's, I don't know. I can't see. I'm blind partially. So, what will make reviews feel real again? Because they've been fake for the last 2, 3 years. Now, as I may be part of the problem, I do want to give some solution. Now, are these the best solution? No. Am I a certified problem solver? No. Am I a certified problem causer? No. Am I really the cause of fake reviews on the internet? No. Do I heavily contribute? No. Do I think these solutions will solve the problem? Probably. You see how I just answered with a bunch of nothings? So here's a list of things I would like to see more of. I want people to talk more about, pacing and plot and theme and character development. How you think the story could have been better, what you like about the story, like, i.e., this book. Now, I don't know how many reviews you're going to read about, but one of the theme, and I like picking out themes in books, one of the theme in Shutter Island is grief. And if you know about themes in book and you read it, it is a psychological thriller. But the underlying theme to me, because there are multiple themes in the book, is grief. And if you read it if you read it, you'll understand. If you haven't read it, then I'll only be spoiling it for you. But theme was one of the underlining grief. I could talk about the characters or the main character. There's stuff that the moral of the story. I could tell you the moral of the story, but I will only spoil it for you. That's what I'm saying. Like, these are things that I would love to see in a review. You understand? Like, if there are some people who are very good at doing reviews without doing spoilers. I haven't mastered that ability yet, but you guys will be the first to know once I have. Let me know once again what you think worked or what didn't work. what's one thing you think, because these are your opinions, that the author could have done better? Is there a way that they could have, it's like when I hate when the miscommunication, I call it a miscommunication trope. I don't know what anyone's called, but that's what I call it. I hate when miscommunication is done because there's some ways that it can be done better, or some ways that, it could have not been done at all, Because I've, whenever any of you read a book where miscommunication was like vital to the plot of the story, unless you're dealing with a on what's it called? What's the narrator like? Unreliable narrator. Yeah, yeah. If you're dealing with an unreliable narrator, then yeah, uh, my brain isn't working. So I don't know what the hell I just said. We could go back to separating our personal taste from the critique. Like, I don't like Emily Henry's books, and if I'm critiquing another book, I don't need to mention that, or if I'm critiquing that one book, I don't have to compare it or say, oh, I've read another book by this author, and just focus on the piece that you're currently critiquing. Now, if you're doing like a comparison where you can say, I'm seeing where this is a pattern, then that's different. But if you're doing like an in-depth review on just that one book, then, you know, separate your personal taste from the critique. It's like when I read romance books and I'm leaving reviews, I don't say, oh, I personally don't read romance. And that's one of the reasons I stay away from that dark romance, because I know half the time I'm not gonna like them. Because I personally don't read dark romance, and if I do end up reading a dark romance and I was to review, I wouldn't say, oh, I personally don't read dark romance, because that defeats the critique. Because we already know that whatever you're saying is gonna be biased. That's all I'm saying. And I want us to go back to normalizing saying this book just wasn't for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying a book wasn't for you. If it wasn't for you, just wasn't for you, and that's that. Not every book needs to be deep or mean something or life changing. Some books just need to be entertainment, and it's okay. Some books are just for entertainment purposes. Some books are just a good book, and that's it. There's nothing life changing, it's not a masterpiece, it's just a good book. Full stop. We just need to get more comfortable saying, hey, I didn't like this book, I like this book. Leave your review, cut out the parasocial relationships, and yeah. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think that book reviews have become performative? If so, why? If not, leave your reasons down in the comments below. Once again, I do apologize if this video was utter crap. I'm still recovering from my car crash. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm just saying that this kind of helped me keep my memory intact if I'm just talking. So the videos over the next few months will probably make no sense at some point when I do become my full self. If I ever become my full self, I may or may not delete them, but yeah. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. And with that being said, we're at the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep devouring those books, you beautiful, 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 and handsome bookworms. Have a wonderful year, month, day, week, hour, minute, second. And if I haven't been cancelled, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.